All right. I need some water. Let's talk about how to get better in bed. How to get better in bed, gentlemen. I know they got the Godfather out there. That's cool. That ain't really my thing. I kind of like being an uncle. So let's have a conversation. Just like uncle to nephew, you know what I'm saying? Uncle to nephew. How to become better in bed. Just a better sexual partner. Fellas, if you're in the bedroom and you putting in a few minutes worth of work, either you have sexual issues or you're just an incredibly selfish lover. You're probably a narcissist and just a very, very selfish lover. That's what I would think. Or you're with a woman who you're really not attracted to. Or you're with a partner who you're really not attracted to. Because I'm telling you, man, facts. When I'm with a woman who I'm seriously attracted to, man, I'm 41. I might as well be 21. There is no difference. And I know, I know. There is no difference between what I'm doing now, my virility now, and when I was 21 years old. I understand my father tells me, yeah, but you're not the norm. You're different. different. I get it. That too has to do with a number of things. Diet is huge. The reason why dudes are having these ED issues, as they call them, is because you're not consuming the right foods. You're not taking in enough life. You're taking in too much death. Stop eating red meat. Again, yeah, we still talking about sex. Stop eating red meat. That shit is terrible for you, man. We are omnivores. All right, humans are omnivores. That means we have the ability to make energy out of both meat and vegetables. Not that we should be consuming both, but we have the ability to make energy out of both. So if we starved and there's no vegetables around, ain't nothing but animals, if we gotta eat animals, we can eat animals. However, ideally, just look at your, what they call teeth in your canines, your jaw. The fact that you can move your jaw like this, like a cow, is a clear indication you should be eating vegetables. Look at any predator that is a carnivore. You can't do this. That's why dogs got to use their hands to tear. Lions, wolves, their mouths, they do this, up and down. Tear. And the teeth, see the teeth? So then there's a number of other things that goes on inside the body that's clear indication you should not be eating meat. Or at the very least, don't touch red meat, man. That shit is terrible for you. Did you know that you can only get cholesterol from meat, high cholesterol from meat? It's crazy, I didn't even know that. One of my boys put me onto this some years ago. Cholesterol comes from animal fat. So just another one of those examples. But anyhow, with meat, number one, it causes red meat. It causes any meat, but especially red meat and poor quality meat for sure. For me, it causes emotional instability. If I'm eating red meat, if I eat I love Pizza Hut. At Pizza Hut, I make a vegetarian pizza. I custom a vegetarian pizza over at Pizza Hut that is just amazing. I love it. I wish they would have had not gotten rid of Peruvian peppers. They got rid of those a couple years ago. Man, those things were good. But I've learned to use I used to put chicken on it. Instead of doing chicken, I do green olives and mushrooms, and that's all the meatiness, the heartiness that I need on there actually, and then a number of other whatever vegetables that I like. So I ain't gonna give you my whole thing. Cheese, not the best. Definitely do as best you can to stay away from milk. Stay away from the red meat. Stay away from grease. Fried stuff as little as possible. All these things get in the way of your circulation is where I'm getting at. They get in the way of you got rocky roads and your fucking bloodstream. It's gonna be hard to get your Johnson up, man. Because this is the reason why it gets up. Think about it. It's because you have blood flow. So when you get excited, there's a massive blood flow. It goes to the thinnest part, thinnest skin on your body, which is your meat, your mini man. Goes down to your boy. So if you eating all this crap, at 20 years old, my biggest fear was that at 40, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing. I was like, man, at least let me be able to get it up. That was my major concern at 20. Maybe it's still that way today. I don't know, because you see all these porns that got you thinking you got to be a superstar in the bedroom. Everybody don't have to be a superstar, man. Women are not difficult. That's a total fallacy. Women are so complicated. No, they're not. There are those who are mature and there are those who are not. Oftentimes, they're just undisciplined. They're undisciplined, and so they tend to be all over the place with their emotions and their inconsistencies and lack of continuity. You said something totally different the other day. So what happens is that's where you come in as a man, is that you give the consistency. You give the straight line. You're like, no, we agreed here, and this is what we're doing. There's nothing she can do to sacrifice away from you. She can't be like, well, you're not going to get any vagina tonight. All right, whatever. That means you ain't getting no dick. Whatever. Well, you won't see your child. Well, it's your child too. You're doing your child a disservice. You're doing our child a disservice. That's a foolish woman doing something like that. I know all about that. The only one hurting here is the kid. So you want to keep the kid away from an amazing father simply because you're a petty child. Well, you're gonna have to explain it at some point in time when she or he gets older. No cooking for you. I order out. Matter of fact, I'm gonna just go ahead and step. I'm gonna go get some dinner elsewhere. Well, you won't eat tonight. It's too late. All right, I'll go to sleep. I'll wake up in the morning, get some good breakfast. What can you hold against me? Anyhow, fellas, starts with eating right. Drink the proper water. You should be drinking rain. I know how that sounds to people these days. You should be drinking rain. Think about it. That's like drinking water off the top of Mount Everest, which ain't gonna be any there because it's frozen, but you get the point. Like, there's a stream up there that's flowing. You drinking that water that's up there in the clouds. It has the most oxygen within it, and it has the most limited amount of toxicity. I know what you're thinking. You're like, yeah, but once it comes out the sky and it lands down, it went through the atmosphere. Think about it. Think about it, people. If the rain was that toxic, nothing would grow around you. Has your dog ever went belly up because it licked out of water out of a puddle? Why are you drinking all this toxic crap that's coming out the pipes? You haven't learned yet that the system, that this country that was conquered by pirates and criminals, and still being run by majority pirates and criminals. Name a politician that you actually trust. You think that they're actually doing what's best for you coming out that pipe? Coming out that that house been sitting there, house is built up in this one here, I don't know, whatever, 70s or something like that. What pipes you think they got under that ground? There's no filtration on planet Earth that can get all that crap out of that water. So anyhow, drink good water. You can't get rain, get distilled. Distilled water. Distilled water is just basically condensation. They boil the water, gets captured up, the steam gets captured up, it trickles down into a bottle, it's called condensation. The beauty of, the reason why that's so beautiful is because rain, water, is the only thing that can exist in 3 different states given natural condition. Gets too hot, turns into steam, right? Gets too cold, turns into ice. If it's just right and it's flowing, it's liquid. It's the only element that can do that, given a natural environment. knowing that this amazing gift from God of water can be evaporated, can be solid, no matter how many toxins are inside of it, it can be evaporated, get caulked on whatever, and on a top or whatever, and then trickle down, right? Turns into steam, which means there's no pollutants that are going with it. When it turns into steam, right, there's no pollutants with it because it's just water. Only water can do this. It gets captured, trickles down. Now, any pollutant, that's the ultimate filter. The ultimate filter is that this thing has been steamed. It's been evaporated and then sent back down to you as pure. Whatever's going on in the atmosphere when the rain falls, by the way, that pollution is only taking place on the exterior of the raindrop, which means if it lands in that bucket, however you capture it, most of the pollution is at the top. Any of the pollution, for the most part, is at the top, other than the sediment and the sand or dirt or whatever that may be in the bucket, which, by the way, you need a little bit of that too. You do need a little bit of dirt, actually, in your body. No one's going to go out and eat dirt, but I'm saying it's actually not a bad thing. The soil, having a bit of soil in some of your water is not a bad thing. You need those minerals in your body, actually. You're just human. You're just a human. You're a mammal. It's like, have we forgotten that we're just mammals? We're highly evolved mammals. So, get your water right, get your food right. Now you get into the sex part of it. Your flexibility. Fellas, whatever size meat you got, you're gonna get another inch or two just by being flexible. What do I mean? I mean, if you're doing a split, a straddle, you're able to get more hip into her. If you're going groin to groin, hip to hip, because think of this as your legs, right? We'll do it this way, right? So here's your legs. It's a weird ass angle. Let me just do this. All right, here's your legs. If you can only go this wide, right? And now you're this way. If you can only go any which way, you can only go this wide. Well, look, I even got a little finger here for your pipe. Well, that's as deep as you can go. However, if you're able to go this wide, your legs can spread this far. That same Johnson is now up here because you have more like flexion. So your legs should be flexible. You want to be as flexible as possible. You should be able to do your splits. Why not? Sideways and forward. Be able to do splits. Be as flexible as humanly possible, man. Not only is that good for your entry, you get more entry into her, but you also there's more skin to skin. If she's on her back, for example, and you're in between her legs, and you're able to do this like split where you're still squatting, but you're able to do a split where your penetration, you're getting more thigh action on her ass. That sensation, that smacking, that alone is it's a greater sensation for her. Penis driving, ball slapping, all that is all sensation for her. If you're able to flex over and eat her out in a way while you're still piping or still doing so, I know how great, if you're able to do different angles because you're flexible, it's going to be better for her, which means it's going to be better for you. Women, at the end of the day, become highly sexual. Even if they're not highly sexual, they become highly sexual when they're with a highly sexual man because they really just waiting for you to open the door. They waiting for you to do some nasty, freaky stuff so that they're like, well, he did it. I guess it's okay. And that's really as it should be because men lead. Men are the ones you should be the leader in all areas, including sexual. And by the way, it's okay to ask her what she likes. I love asking women what they like. So what turns you on? What do you enjoy? When's the last time you had mind-blowing sex? I don't know about mine, boy. When's the last time you came? Blah, blah, blah. Or never? Sometimes I don't even really ask about the orgasm thing too much because I'm not really concerned about that. I've been surprised with several women in the past who have told me that it was the first time their orgasm was with me. I've never orgasmed before. I was like, for real, you're 35? Or for real, you're 30? Or for real, you're 25? I forget how many women don't orgasm. I forget. Fellas, okay, so there's the water, there's the food, there's the flexibility. All of this doesn't matter. All of this gives you the ability to be better in bed. It gives you the avenue in which you can travel to be better in bed. But there also has to be the passion there. And that's something I mentioned earlier, which is she's got to be your flavor, man. For the right woman who's amazing, who you really just, has what you want. That's why all these dudes want, I think, these top shelf dime women, because they want to be turned on, and they'll turn you on to drop a dime if that's your type. If you like no butt, blonde, blue hair, blue eyes, and big boobs, if that's your thing, you feel like a kid every time you're having sex. You feel like a kid because she turns you on immediately. If she don't turn you on, your woman that got big. You heard about this fit, feminine, friendly, and like I said, fine. If she got that, that's turning you on, you're gonna keep going. But if she loses the fine part, right? If she loses the fit part, and you're not turned on, you're married to this woman, of course you're gonna step out and have sex with another woman. Otherwise, you are not being true to yourself. Ooh, that's hard. That's painful for women, but it's true. As a man, you're not being true to yourself, because now you have to go the rest of your life being with this woman who you're not even attracted to. But there's an emotional, moral obligation, which she's instilled in you, society has instilled in you, that you got to keep this up. So, because, you had a kid with her, you had sex with her, you married her, you committed to her. It's like, look, man, I committed to the package. She lost the package. She broke the contract. That wasn't our deal. Our deal was, I'm gonna love you for life, and they were like, through thick and thin. They made the thick and thin about their weight. It wasn't supposed to be that. It's supposed to be figuratively speaking, through bad times and good times. It's one thing for you to get big because you're sick, a temporary situation, you're feeling bad. It's another thing for you to get out of shape and horrible just because you're getting lazy. Oh, well, I had a kid. I had your child. You're not going to hold that guilt over me the rest of my life. You're not going to do that. That's what you're not going to do. You had your child as well. That was part of the deal. You knew that was going to happen, and it's up to you. I'm going to work with you. I'll work with you. We'll get back in shape, but it takes discipline. We've seen many of examples of women who bounce back because they wanted to make sure that they had their body back. Can't help stretch marks if that happens. There's ways in which you can take care of that. There's ointments and stuff to make sure that's minimized. But shit that happen. Honestly, I don't know too many men who really give a damn too much. Sometimes I like a little dimple action. Like, really. I like breasts to hang a little low. I don't want you sitting up like headlights. To me, that looks ridiculous. I'm like, this shit don't even look real. I like your ass to have a little weight on it. You know what I'm saying? A little dimple action. That just tell me, little stretch marks tell me you got ass. You always had ass. That's a real ass. I love it. Yeah. So you got the food, you got the water, you got the flexibility, but you got to have the passion. You got to have the desire. Desire is what we're mentioning. She has to be your type. She got to be what you really want, not just putting your dick in the hole. Then that's not. Then yeah, you're just going for the orgasm. You're just going for the nut. But there's more than the nut. There's the pleasure in pleasing. That's another type of orgasm. It's another type of orgasm for you. It's like a mental orgasm. So much better than just sex. It really is. But that's the next variable, and the one that's most important. You got to have the passion, and you got to have the selflessness. If you're a selfish lover, it ain't gonna work, bro. If you're a selfish lover, it's not gonna work. You got to be wanting to please her. You got to be wanting to explore her. That exploration, the desire to explore alone, is very, very powerful. for your sexual virility. It really is. I think I got one of those. It really is. So, let me give you a start. For example, massage. Fellas, if you're not massaging your woman, you tripping. You should be exploring her body. I date women, man, you're gonna get a 2-3 hour massage out of me. Yeah. You're gonna get a 2-3 hour massage. He was like, why the hell putting in that much time? I would have, listen, when I was 20, I would have never imagined that either. No way. I'm not putting in no 2 hour massage. Give me a 2 hour massage. And don't get me wrong, I still want a 2 hour massage. That would be great, you know. And women will do that for you because they know that you'll do it for them. Like, they'll naturally want to give back to you. And really the best way to teach a woman how to massage, the same way the best way to teach her how to do anything, is to show by example. Just lead by example. Start off at the top of her head. Got this little device. What's that? I think it's upstairs. Oh, it might be in this room, actually. Whole bunch of little pleasure toys. Because you got to get over your ego too. I mean, that's something I got over pretty early. Start using toys with women. It's just a little head scratcher. Bruh. This is nothing but a head scratcher. You got to get you one of these on like Amazon. They're like $5 or $10, something like that. Start massaging the head. Use that same tool. Understand, think about this. When you go to get an hour massage, that hour massage you're getting is not an intimate massage. That hour massage is paid. Fellas, it's like getting a stripper or it's like getting a prostitute. That's not the best experience. It really isn't, because it's a transaction. And, you know, if you're paying $100, well, you know, if you're paying $100 somewhere, you ain't gonna be twisting up too many positions. You know, you ain't gonna be doing a whole lot of, you know, freaking on them, because if you did do that, if you got size on, you're gonna be ruining their product. So they be like, no, don't put my legs like that. No, don't turn me like that. No, don't. And you're not gonna eat her out. You're gonna keep the condom on. You know what I mean? It's not the best experience. It's just sex. It's not the best experience because it's not as intimate as you want it to be, because that person don't care about you. You don't care about them. It's just a transactional exchange of sex. Versus in a massage is the same way. When you go to this transactional exchange where they're just massaging you because they got to do the job, they got a whole routine that they go through that's going to take an hour long. Even if you tell them, like, I be messing up some of these masseurs when I go there, and I tell them, like, yo, I want you to just work my back. I want 40 minutes on my back. And they're like, what? Because their whole routine is like, might be 10 minutes on your feet, might be 10 minutes on your calf. They got it broken down in their mind. I already know that because, you know, massage in the past. So when you tell them something like that, they don't know what to do. They're like, well, how the hell do I? Now you got to section my back up. You know, if I say 40 minutes, I mean you got to section my back up into 10 minutes per spot. Break it up into 4s and go like that. And I get a better massage in that way, you know, if I want to focus on the back. But that's a hint for you guys, a little tip for you guys, rather. But my point is, that 1 hour massage is not really intimate. Versus if you're a man and you're wanting to please your woman, all you have to do is, you should be doing better than them. It's one thing to be like, I'm gonna pay for you to go get a massage, you know, I don't feel like it. Bro, you being lazy. You being lazy. That's your woman. If nothing else, that's your toy. If nothing else, that's your toy. At the very minimum, it's your entertainment piece, right? I used to collect comic books when I was a kid in G.I. Joes. I kept them in mint condition. I still, hopefully, moms didn't throw them away. I still got hundreds, thousands of comic books and cards. They're mint condition. They're my toys, but I kept them in mint condition because I cared for them. Same thing with the G.I. Joes. Kept them in mint condition because I cared for them. Wanted to take care of them. I'll be polishing mine, cleaning them. While I play with them, I'm still gonna play with them. Same thing with my crib. Like, I'm gonna keep it clean, but I'm still gonna use it. I don't wanna not be able to walk in a room or walk on a carpet. Get out of here, man. I'm here to live. I'm here to enjoy my toys. So if your woman at the very least is your toy that you care for, shouldn't you take time to like really love it, love the toy? And when you're doing that, when she can feel that, it's a selflessness that you're infusing into her. And that really is a God space, by the way. That selflessness, that love, she feel it, man. Feel around, lay her on her chest. Start with her head. With the head, it's just sensation. It's just sensation. It's just light touches, man. Light touches. When's the last time you massaged a woman's face, her cheeks, her jaw? Find the crevices and touch them. Tease them. Hot oil. If she like wax on her. Dip. Every now and then, light a candle, dip some wax on her. Get a little massage table, like $150, $200 if you got the room for it. If not, it's cool. The floor is perfect. I prefer the floor, in fact. Unless I really want to go in, then we'll go on a massage table. But I prefer the floor. They got those little facial cuff things. You can put her face in that, literally on the floor, and she's laying on the floor. That's a massage table, bro. That's all you need. You need something stiff. You can't really do it. The bed is harder. The bed is much more difficult because it's too soft, especially if you got a soft bed. The floor is best. The same thing with sleeping, by the way. You should be sleeping on the floor at least 3 times throughout the week, man. You'll have to get far less massages than, especially if you're an athlete, fellas. If you're an athlete, sleep on the floor. If you're an athlete, you should probably sleep 5 times out the week if you're an active athlete like that. But if you're the average man, 3 times out the week, you should be sleeping on the floor. Massage her when she's on the floor, man. Start with her, let her be on her chest. You start with her back. Man, listen, there's a spot like right here. There's several spots on women. I ain't gonna give you all the game, but there's a spot right there at her inner thigh that you should really be massaging, man. You should really be taking your time to lick on that, suck on that, tickle that. You should have feathers. You should have whips, little, whatever they call them, like different type of toys to play with your toy. Her. You should have all those things, man. What's the point of having sex if you're not gonna thoroughly enjoy it? I mean, typically, I think that's why a lot of younger women like dealing with older men. And I think, when I was younger, at least, I like dealing with older women because older women they were freakier. They was just like, damn, they was putting me up. I was like, yo, this 40-year-old, I'm 22 or something, this 40-year-old, I was like, that was amazing. She wasn't holding back nothing because she saw me as her toy, as her boy toy. And she went all the way in. She did everything she wanted to do with her boy toy. And that shit was amazing. I was like, whoa. I would recommend every young man go date these older women, man. And nowadays it's a little different because now, every 20-year-old is kind of sort of moving like a porn star these days because that's the world we live in. So back then, I feel like 40-somethings had that advantage. 40-something-year-old women had that advantage over younger women, whereas now that might not be such an advantage anymore. I don't think it is. But there's still a freedom about older women. There's a passion in older women and can be a reckless abandonment, but still kind of under control in the sexual arena that is really nice, man. So again, I would recommend with that. I haven't experienced that a lot with younger women as much as with older women. Older women got a passion about them, man. Like when they really let it go, when they really let their ego go and just be like, They got to have that self-talk. They got to be looking in the mirror like, bitch, you getting old. You got this young dude. You better go. You better go. You might not have another opportunity to do it. They having those conversations in the mirror for sure. If they having those conversations, oh, the sex is going to be fire, bro. You should definitely be over there, man. Try it out at the very least. I think that's the best way to go anyhow. Older men, younger women, older women, younger men. I think that's the best way to go anyhow. It just logically makes sense. But anyhow, tease her, man. Tease her. Women love to talk the same way they love to read. This is just a matter of fact. Google it. You'll see, whatever. Women tend to be the ones who want to read all the articles, do all the scrolling. They tend to be the ones who are doing that. Men, we look at pictures, we read a couple lines, we paraphrase, and we move on. That's just how we are. The same way women love attention to detail, they love a man that loves attention to detail. So take time and attend to her details. Kiss her, man. Lick her. Suck on her. Massage her. Touch her. Talk in her ear, man. Whisper in her ear. Make sure she hears you and feels you. You just throwing money at her, bro, again. You missing it. You missing the whole shebang. You don't have to tell a woman to hurry up and get in the kitchen when you really tantalizing her soul, when you like through her skin, when you're giving her attention that she's never had and she will never get, especially nowadays. Look at porn, man. Porn is like literally, I'm not saying look at it as a good thing, look at it as like a bad thing. Like, in one way it's good because you see how they lay in pipe, but in another way it's bad because they getting straight to the, and that's not really what most women want. They want good D, yeah, don't get me wrong, that they want that, yeah, but really it's about the experience. It's like reading a book. It's like reading that long ass article. It's the same thing. They want that. They want to feel like a man is doing that, and that this is an experience that the man is fully engaged in, and he's taking his time for her, specifically for her. Bruh, you go to bed, wake up in the morning, just mention any mention that you like, that you love a good breakfast, that you got some food that you would love to cook. Like, you'd be like, I would love to eat that, but I just don't feel like cooking. I guarantee you the next morning she's in the kitchen cooking it for you. You don't got to tell her place in the kitchen. I have heard this so many times by so many different women who are like, man, you make me want to be a woman. She's like, just without even saying it, you make me want to be a woman. She's like, you're such a man that I just want to be, I want to cook for you. I want to kiss on you. I want to massage you. I want to do those things for you that every man has in the past has said they want, but I didn't feel like he was worth it. Like, that's what's up. It's not hard. You just have to work your patience and your discipline. And here's the thing, it helps you out in life. It really does. Not just with a woman, but it teaches you patience. Nowadays, patience and focus is the new superpower because everything is taken away from it. Everything's taken away from your patience. Everything is getting you to rush, hurry, go. And everything is getting you to look over here. Give me your attention. Give me your attention. No, give me your attention. No, give me your attention. Lack of focus, lack of discipline. Take time with your woman. Take time with your partner. And really put the time in, man. When you're massaging her, look for the things that are out of alignment. Look for the knots. Google it. Knots, body knots. Feel around, see through her skin into the muscle and the skeletal system. Get past the skin. The skin is just you could start off touching, tantalizing, but get into the depths of her, into her muscles, into her bones. And follow the bone line. Look, it's the same thing that happens in martial arts. Wherever there's a bone, wherever there's a joint, there's muscles attached. That muscle can be used as pain or pleasure. The same way you can push here and knock someone out just off of they go unconscious because you've knocked off an artery or hit the esophagus in some way or cut off some windpipes. The same way you can hurt them is the same way you can heal them. You can massage that same spot. Like vary the pressure. Find the crevice. Find the muscle. And just touch it. Caress it. Get the right oil. Make sure you're not doing it dry hands, because nobody wants dry hands on them, man. If you're gonna do it dry, then put a sheet over them. Just literally drape them with a sheet, let the head be out, and massage through the sheet, because the sheet allows you to be slippery on top of the sheet and not be like rough on her skin. But I would suggest you get some massage oil. Get massage oil. And that massage oil, you definitely want to be on the ground and have a sheet that's okay with taking oil. Because that shit get on satin sheets, silk sheets. It's a headache to get out. But should that happen, by the way, sprinkle on, what's that, Arm & Hammer baking soda. Sprinkle that on, let it sit like overnight. It'll soak it up. Hopefully it'll soak it up. Typically it does. Works about 70-80% of the time from my experience. Massage her, touch her, talk to her, whisper to her. Like, read some poetry if you want. The sex is like with acting. Also, acting, there was what I realized when I was doing the acting thing, and when I was doing the acting thing, is that there was like pre-acting, there was acting, and then there was post-acting. And that was, in order to really show that you're giving a great performance, I realized I had to come in acting totally different. Like if my role was to be a militant, well, then I would come in being extra nice to everybody, extra happy, extra smiley, extra blah, 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 blah. And then before the scene would start, maybe 5 minutes before the scene started, I change. I get into my militant mode. Meditate on that, see where I am, see the wars, see my history in my mind of where I came from, the battles I've been in, and I'm a hardened soldier, and now be this one. And so people see it, they see, wow, what a great actor, because they see the pre-performance and they see the performance. And then once I'm done, I may not go back to laughing and jokey joke the way I was prior to filming and prior to getting ready to get into that space, but I will be a different person than that serious dude, and that's the post acting. It's kind of the same thing when it comes to sex. Like there's like a pre-sex game, and that is oftentimes a conversation that you have with her. I've heard too many women say that most men can't talk. Most men can't have good conversation. They're just like emotionally dogging. Fellas, you gotta do better than that. You really do. You gotta have those conversations. That's the pregame. It's the pre-sex. If you think of it as that, don't look at it as like game, really. Look at it as like the pre-sex. You're having sex. Sapiosexuality. It's conversation. It's your sexual through intelligence. Like it's sex through intelligence. Like intelligence turns them on. That's true for every woman. I've never met a woman who's like, nah, I don't like smart guys. I don't like guys who are well-versed and good conversationalists are annoying. Said no woman ever. Talk to her. Pillow talk. Right? That's that pregame. That's another time we'll talk about that. But back into the actual sex. Keep that in mind. That pre-sex, like take your time with that, be patient with that. And then again, when you're massaging her in that way, be patient with that too, man. Time flies when you're really in it, when you're really invested in it. Like, damn, this is like, man, you're a little tense right here, And you're healing her. If your intention with the sexual experience is to heal her and to have her heal you, that is energetic mutualism, reciprocity. You're getting love and infusing growth and evolution in you, and she's getting the same from you. If that's your goal, man, it's gonna be great every time, but you gotta be patient. You rushing in and rushing out. I mean, you could be that guy, sure, but you never get the best of her. You get a transactional relationship from a woman, and I've been there. I've been there before, man. It doesn't feel good. It's very empty. It's very empty. to just see her as a whole, to dip into, do what you want, and roll out. It's very empty, man. It's not the way you want to live, man. I've been there. I tried that. Just because I'm like, I don't need to put in all this work. Damn that. You get this pipe, you love it. I don't need to do with a few strokes anyhow before you're going to be fine. I'm going to roll out. Nah, man. So much better to explore her. Explore her. So much better. And then during the sex itself. So once you're inside, before you even get to the inside, make sure that we're talking about the foreplay at this point, right? The massaging is part of the foreplay. The eating her out is part of the foreplay, you know what I mean? Everything's open, everything ready to go. You should be kissing on her, man. You should keep yourself from penetrating her as long as possible. Build up the sexual tension. That too is part of her reading a good book. That too is part of her reading that long ass article. It's part of the experience. The sexual experience. Take your time. Don't just dive in, man. Don't get me wrong. After a while, some women, they just want that. They like, look, put it in me. And it's even better if you don't. In that case, it's even better if you don't. Because now she's fiending for you. She's like a crackhead fiending for you. And that's a great thing. That's where you want her to be. And not just because it's not a matter of control over her. You know what I mean? Toxic masculinity will tell you, yeah, you're controlling her. Nah, bro, that's not what it's about. What it's about is that you're getting the best out of her. You're getting the most emotion and expression out of her. You're letting that build up so that when you are inside of her, the release from her, the orgasm from her is an explosion. And that energy infuses you as well. Again, mutualism, reciprocity, energetic reciprocity. That's what you want, man. It's far better. It's far better than your 3 to 5 minute nut, bruh. It's far better. Like, just stall it out. Stall it out. Be patient. I'm not saying you got to be on this every time, by the way. I'm saying make time for that. I mean, if every time you're having sex, it's just, you're missing it. You are missing out. You're not growing. You're not getting stronger. You're not getting better. Your spirit you're not getting the most you can be getting out of it, man. You really aren't. You're not focused on the energetic exchange. Focus on the delay. And then once you're inside, well, condom or no condom. Put on the condom. Sure, you want to be safe. That makes sense. If it's not your thing, I mean, the reality of it is, in order to get the best sexual experience, you're going to have to be raw. So that's why it's suggested that you have one partner who is exclusive to you, and you guys are doing that. You know what I mean? That way you don't have to worry about that. I mean, let's just be realistic. We all want to get to the point where we can take off the goddamn condom. Hopefully she's, he's got a vasectomy or she's on the pill or something like that, and cool. Now we can just have fun, Nobody wants to get knocked up, like inadvertently so. We were just trying to have a good time. And now you got a baby. You got a whole baby. Damn. But the best experience is gonna be raw, of course. However, they got the thin condoms though, that are fantastic. They really are. The Magnum thins, man, they are amazing. It's like really having no condom on. So nowadays, they got the lifestyle thins. I've seen so many different thins that I imagine there's kind of sort of not much of an excuse these days. It's not like you're losing a lot of sensation, fellas, because, like I said, those things feel amazing. And the beauty of having a condom is that it desensitizes you. It desensitizes you. And by the way, women love it raw as much as you love it more raw, if not more. I mean, just think about it. You see when women are really having good sex, how loud they are, how they gyrate, how they move. Most dudes we like, yeah, this cool. Once we get the nut or something, but the whole experience for them is they're all over the place. Legs flopping and, like, you put them in all kind of crazy positions and they don't care. They don't care because it's so in my opinion, they're getting much more out the sex than what you will ever get. But again, you have to prolong that ejaculation and prolong everything else just to build up that sexual tension. I mean, I remember the one woman, there's been several who have done this, but this one in particular, I have built it up. The foreplay was probably about 45 minutes of foreplay. And it was only because it got to a point where she was just like, oh my God, get inside me, right? So, 1 stroke, 2 stroke, 3 stroke, explode. Explode. I didn't have women orgasm after two strokes, 3 strokes. That's not uncommon. But an explosion. She apparently hadn't had sex for a long time. And me also doing the foreplay and prolonging the penetration and just adhering to her. Like it was massage, it was kissing, it was pulling on her hair, and it was putting ice, and it was hot candles. I was going to do that probably about another hour with me, you know. But again, she was, get inside me now. I was like, okay, let me just go ahead and cut this short. We'll get back to it. And we did. Fellas, women are far more sexual than you could ever be. Far more sensitive than you could ever be. Again, you've seen it. You've seen porns, I'm sure. You've had sex with women where you're like, damn, she really losing her mind. If you haven't seen that, just know that's real, that it happens. It really is up to you to attend to her. Just don't be selfish. You gotta be involved. You gotta care. You have to take your time, young man. Take your time, young man. And Daddy used to say, and Big Ump used to say, take your time, man. Take your time. And don't be a prude. You know, if she let her take a shower, let her clean all up, and then suck on those toes, bruh. You a kid? Pretty ass toes. She got some pretty toes for her. For you just to be looking at them. Man, you better suck on them toes, stop playing. All kind of techniques behind that, but there's too much details to get into. Bite her, nipple on her. Lick her. A soft bite. I'm not saying take a chunk out of her thigh. I'm just saying, you know, a nice nibble. Massage her with your teeth. Massage her with your bite. You can do that too, especially right here. Traps. I dare you to lightly bite her traps from the back. Watch her lose her goddamn mind. I can give you this. There's 1,000 things I can tell you. This is just a couple that are amazing. Let her take a shower. Don't have her put on deodorant. And freaking lick her armpit, bro. Bite on her armpit, that little muscle right here. More nerves here than anywhere in the body. Why do you think people get ticklish under here? Use it to your advantage. Have a feather? Get a feather. Have fun. Let the sexual experience be one of divine synchronicity. Divine synchronicity, like those women in the water who do the dancing, and you're like, wow, that's really good. It's really impressive. Be like that. Be like that. Go into that flow. Listen to her body as she gyrates and moves. Man, you gotta listen. Like, just pay attention. When you touch something right, put your finger in the right spot. Grip the right, bruh. Make sure that you're giving her as many sensations as possible. Sometimes it's soft, sometimes it's hard, sometimes it tickles, sometimes it's slap. Fill the blanks. You know what I'm talking about. But you gotta enjoy yourself, and you have to be invested selflessly. If you're a selfish lover, it's never gonna work. You're probably covering up some inadequacies, and that's something you just gotta deal with. So, how to be better in bed. Those are 5 different avenues. What was that? It was food, water, the flexibility, the pregame, right? And then the actual selflessness. You'll find, no matter what your size, no matter what your level of expertise, if you attend to these things, you have an advantage on every other man, because most men are impatient. They're impatiently waiting to get back to work. They're rushing through their sleep to get back to work in the morning, to hustle harder. They got shit to do. Like their woman don't really matter. Well, what if you're a man that treats a woman as though she does matter? What's that like? What do you get out of her? You don't have to force her to do anything. All you have to do is politely suggest it. The right woman, the right selfless woman, not the spoiled brats. Can't stand spoiled women. No point. Spoiled, selfish, immature, overly sensitive to the point where you can't even talk to them. You can't negotiate with them. There's no logic there. They're overly sensitive. They may be very intelligent. So I can talk with that. So those things, just don't deal with them. Those type of women make terrible lovers anyhow. You're wasting your time. Unless you just want to dip into the hole. But they make terrible lovers. Terrible partners. Terrible energetic exchange. So just get you right. Focus on you. Remember, if you're not having a lot of sex, you're going to have to desensitize yourself so that when you do have sex, you can last. And what I found, fellas, by the way, I'm giving you the long route here. The short route is, most women don't need but 10 minutes. 10 minutes. 10 minutes of straight, of like pipe action, of really good, feeling good, hitting the right spots, you know. If you're doing literally 3 minutes, 4 minutes of eating her out, and some foreplay, whatever it is, tantalizing, and then another 6 minutes, 7 minutes of like pipe action, of really laying it in, man, you had 10 to 15 minutes. Most women don't need no more than that, man. A lot of times they want a quickie the same way you want a quickie. Because again, keep in mind, you gonna have to stroke in order to get that one orgasm that feels amazing then. With women, while you stroking every move, they gyrating, they screaming, they moaning, they losing their minds because it feels better to them than it does to you. So don't feel as though you gotta be a total crazy porn star with it, laying pipe down for an hour. That's not necessary, man. It's not necessary at all. Really pipe action, 10 to 15, dog. If you're doing 20, you solid. If you're doing 20, you extra solid, really. In addition to everything else, you don't need much more than that, man. And you also find a lot of women don't really need a massive, you know. I've been with many women who just won't tip. And you're like, that's it? Damn. It just won't tip. And in my mind, honestly, I'd be thinking like, you should probably just date a guy with a smaller penis, because you know, it's dudes out here who are really looking for you. You're really hoping to be with a woman who don't need a big dick, you know, just need a low, you know, you don't need but a few inches. Well, you'd be surprised, man. You'd be surprised. I'm talking about beautiful women. So don't be discouraged, you know, if you're not working with, you know, the same thing the next man's working with. Just do what you can with what you got. Get your flexibility up, man. Get your stamina up, man. Get your sensitivity down and pay attention to her body. Pay attention to her gyrations. Pay attention to her moans and her groans. Pay attention to her juices. Pay attention to everything, man. Just pay attention. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. And it is soulfully fulfilling. It's not for the religious. It's for the spiritual. I hope it helps.